Fortnite Battle Royale versus PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Today, I'm going to be addressing the similarities and differences between the two newest and insanely popular Fortnite Battle Royale and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. The duo of games are a stir of a lot of enjoyment and controversy within their Battle Royale style, all while they almost mirror one another. It is argued that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is the father of the Battle Royale style game mode. PlayerUnknown himself has helped work on King of the Kill installment for H1Z1, as well as his own mods as early as the Armour series. PUBG is an open world, first-person, third-person shooter that is based on the principle of 100 men entering and 1 man leaving the arena. When the player is trying to survive till the end, they're faced with several challenges along the way. Firstly, there are zones. You're tasked with constantly moving into small circles as the game progresses in an attempt to escape the blue zone, which has a DOT or damage over time effect that could possibly kill you. Red zones also exist. Within these red zones there are a series of airstrikes which occur that decimate the entire area which is designated on the map. This is a spot that you definitely want to avoid, since failure is sure to ensue if you do not avoid these airstrikes. PUBG also has a unique weapon system customization feature in which you can add sights, stocks, grips, magazines, and even muzzle brakes and silencers to your weapon. Fortnite is a controversial addition to the Battle Royale style scene, not because it is a Battle Royale style game, but because Epic Games, the studio responsible for Fortnite, also constructed the engine which PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds runs on. As a result, Bluehole Studios, the creators of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, are not too happy with the decisions that Epic Games are taking when creating their own game. However, this shouldn't take away of how great of a game it is. Fortnite has a series of features which make it an enjoyable experience. The biggest of those would be the ability to construct bases to cover yourself while you're in battle with other players. As a result of the flexible base building mechanic, players tend to pull very interesting stunts during fights which would either lead to a win or a defeat. Similarly to the rest of the Battle Royale style games, the player in Fortnite must move to a series of circles which will eventually get smaller in order to dodge the storm, which will gradually kill the player. The game is played from an over-the-shoulder third-person view with no currently available feature to go into first person, which is something PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds allows the player to do. Individually, the games have a lot of separate features which make them their own. For example, as we've already discussed, there is base building which is completely unique to Fortnite, which gives it a faster, refreshing feel to those who are long-time PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds players. It adds much more diversity in terms of gunfights and battles. The graphic style of both games are really different too. PUBG has a very photorealistic set of graphics which fully immerse the player in a tense fight to the death in a gritty, unpleasant setting where you feel as though you're really participating. Fortnite is much more of a cartoony style graphic, which isn't a bad thing. It's a nice art style with bright colours that create a relaxing atmosphere while still capturing the intensity and rush of gunfights. Fortnite has a somewhat more complex weapon system. There are a nice variety of weapons in both games, however the game in Fortnite revolves around a levelling system based on rarity. For example, grey is uncommon, green is common, blue is rare, purple is epic, and orange is legendary. This makes the game a lot more luck based in my opinion, since there are more rare weapons the better the stats for that specific weapon. As a result, I think Fortnite is taken a lot less seriously and more of a game of who can hit the most shots rather than who has the best game sense and ability to actually play the game. In contrast to weapons, PUBG has skins which your character wears. These clothing items can be swapped out at any point during the game and can be found by playing games, earning battle points and opening 2 item crates. These are purely cosmetic and have no impact on the way the game plays at all. However, players still seem to have a problem with the fact that these paid skins are available while the game is still poorly optimized and incomplete. PUBG also has a leaderboard system where you can find how you scale up against the rest of the world in a variety of regions and game modes. Those game modes being solo, duo, squads, and the rest of the first person perspective only variants of those game modes. Fortnite does not currently have a leaderboard system, which leaves most players finding their progress pointless in Fortnite, as they don't currently have a way to scale up against the rest of the players for a long term. I think a good final point to address would be the development of the individual games and how much they cost. Fortnite Battle Royale is in early access, much like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. However, it is a free-to-play game completely where PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a £27 game. These aren't so much of a problem if you have the money to fork out for an incomplete game. The fact PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is incomplete and developers seem to have more of an interest in pushing for esports tournaments rather than improving the netcode and server desync is a real concern for the community at the moment. Not only is that a problem, but the fact that developers are looking to push the game to console by December is actually releasing a complete version of the game on Steam is another issue. It seems to raise the question of whether the developers at Bluehole are really interested in. Do they want to improve the way the game plays or just make money than they already have with the 10 million plus copies sold? Honestly, I don't feel like I can answer that question because I don't really know the direction of the current development studio. But that brings this video to a close. Thank you for listening as I tried my best to illustrate points both for and against the individual games.